In October 2015, the International Land Coalition Asia met in Chiang Mai, Thailand for its Regional Assembly and Knowledge Exchange Program.
Or your colleague that you come together or the King's Hill. When we leave, there are always abundance of our work.
The International Land Coalition was founded in 1995 with a transformative vision for land governance and to empower the rural poor. It is a global alliance of civil society and intergovernmental organizations working together to put people at the center of land governance. It is guided by its shared vision of a just, equitable, and inclusive world in which land rights are secure, poverty is eradicated, and contribute to identity, dignity, and inclusion. It is rapidly expanding and has grown into a coalition of 207 members, representing 64 countries from Africa, Asia, Europe, Middle East, Latin America, and international organizations. Members represent farmers, indigenous communities, women, and civil society organizations.
The indigenous group manage forests, get profit out of it, and we found very nice ways. So I'm very convinced that that should be expanded as well in many other aspects and lands. Take for example,
the Regional Assembly shared the biggest challenges they had to overcome, as well as the most important achievements they made in the implementation of the previous strategy.
Many different kinds of organizations that are important to land. We have research institutions, we have indigenous peoples organizations, farmers organizations, we have more international organizations within our network. And how do we work in a way which takes advantage of that full diversity, the social movements among us?
There are still many challenges. A lot of work needs to be done. The most important thing that we have to do now is to continue with the work in assisting indigenous communities document their territories. The biggest problems that indigenous peoples face is that they are invisible. They are not given the proper recognition that they are the managers of their territory. Then that is a big challenge, to continue working with many communities, empowering them and building their capacity to map and document their own territories.
Ultimately, whatever we do at the grassroots level, that finally needs the commitment of the government. So buying in government into our initiatives, protecting land of the marginalized and poor folks, including women and indigenous people, that is the biggest challenge, because land is highly political and it needs highest level of political commitment of the government. That is the challenge we have been facing.
As I'll say, bigger challenges, of course, three of them more important. As you know, Mongolia is a transition country from centrally planned economy from Soviet style to unlearning from Soviet style and entering to market economy. So open market economy. So this means that privatization of animals, land still state-owned. So participation of heritage for the decision making and their participation for their rights, I think is big achievements that we have during the last period of 5 years' time.
The big challenge is we cannot solve the land conflict at a short time or period. One day took long time and they spend a lot of money, they spend a lot of time, and in addition, in terms of advocacy on the policy formulation, it also takes some time.
The general, we can say that generally lack of interest in government and domination of landlords in the parliament who block any attempt of land reforming, and lack of transparencies and the access of the authentic information from the government. This is the main problems and main challenges for us right now.
During the last 5 years, from 2010 to 2015, We implement three main activities. One is draft legal rights of Mongolian pastoralist herders. And then secondly, we try to influence by that law, by lobbying at national level, advocacy and lobbying of that draft of legal. And lastly, we try to test, to implement the bottom-up management of pastoral by involving communities, pastoralist groups by themselves to draw their plan by themselves and implement it by themselves and make decision by themselves. That's one of big achievements that we try to brought at local level, heritage communities.
You cannot achieve anything overnight, but what I can say, maybe some of the milestones we could have set being involved with ILC, which is ILC given us a very broader platform where we acquired some knowledge from cross-learning and sharing. One is land grabbing and the commercial use of land, which actually we were able to materialize at the country level, awareing our partners, building their further capacity so that they could protect some of the land grabbing and they could capture the diversity of land at the country level as well, and to negotiate with different actors and with different factors as well.
Our organization has been able to work with many other organizations in the Philippines in gathering a lot of the pertinent spatial data. We have developed a lot of maps that have been used by communities to fight the extractive industry that has come in to destroy their territories. We've been able to support many communities in filing claims, and we've been able to support many communities in developing their own ancestral domain management plan with the data that has been secured through the support of the ILC.
As part of NES's effort that we have done under ILC, that we focused mainly on establishing women as farmers and then encouraging these women through training, developing their capacities. We campaigned to make people realize that no woman is a witch. We promoted women's marriage registration and we promoted literacy for the adult women who are illiterate, so that they are not deprived because of their illiteracy. So these are some of the highlights, because there are many. So this is what I feel major issues under ILC that we would like to promote.
The most significant achievements is we implemented two projects supported by ILC. One is on the land matrix. So AFA is the Asia focal point for this global land monitoring initiative called the Land Matrix. And also we implemented the project on the popularization of the voluntary guidelines for the governance of tenure, or the VGGT, in 3 countries in Asia.
Regarding the land reform, that is included in the Constitution. That's the first, it's a big achievement with the contribution of the ILC. Second is the land reform 6th Amendment that is recently endorsed by Parliament. That's really given the rights to the tenant people. And third one is the recently government of Nepal endorsed the land use policy, which land rights movements and CSRC is basically advocating to formulate the land use policy and implement on this. There are 3 things, and then the fourth one is the during, I think it's a 2011 to 16, the government announced the joint ownership of men and women.
What they've said is ILC is a place that can help them to do 3 things. ILC can help them to connect, can help them to mobilize, and ILC helps them to influence.
The International Land Coalition Asia also shared the critical land issues in Asia and the collective strategy needed to address the land-related problems.
Lands and forests, just to make it clear, which one is farming land and which one is forest land. Land rights, no!
Well, ILC is a global coalition. It's more and more important that we provide space within our membership for our members to organize at the level that they work. So ILC Asia platform is one of the platforms of ILC, but despite those differences, I see our members coming together saying we want to work together in our region to engage with regional bodies like ASEAN or the Asian Development Bank or regional human rights institutions and work across this region for change and for land rights in Asia.
We should form or conduct the joint activity together, not only meeting amongst the Asia member, but also we should create a platform where CSO from the country and where the government from the country should meet and also listen together.
ILC itself identify as knowledge broker, so knowledges are everywhere with different organization, contexts are different, so it's ILC at the global level as well as at the Asia level. It is a platform, it can initiate and further strengthen the process of knowledge sharing and interaction and exchange of all these knowledges and then build further capacity. That kind of things I think ILC can do best.
Together we can achieve the mission for the Asia region countries.
The ILC Asian team should be the platform for information exchange. The ILC team should be the one who should coordinate our work, because the important thing is that we NGOs, we members in Asia should be working together. While we come from different countries, we become stronger if we are together. There are so many similarities in our experience, and it is very important that we learn from each other, both the failures and successes. And the ILC Asia team plays a major role in realizing this.
Every state has its own laws, so one central law cannot change the things in states.
In its regional assembly, the International Land Coalition defined and adopted 10 new commitments. These commitments are the benchmark by which members work to address the crucial land-related issues in Asia.
So ILC over the next 6 years exists to help its members to connect, to mobilize, and to influence. Now, this strategy is more focused than the previous one in that it also takes advantage of commitments our members made to 10 changes in land governance that they would like to see.
We prioritize 3. The first is equal land rights for women. And the second is secure territorial rights for IPs, and the third one is effective action against land grabbing. That's our commitment for the next 3 years for ILC.
So for LRD, it is commitment 3, 4, and then 9.
For these 6 organizations, we are working in Central Asia now, and we are the members, and 3 of them new in ILC, as you know. We identify for ourselves next 3 main commitment. This is the 6, 7, 8.
Our commitments are as follows. For the commitment 2, CSRC and NLRF will work on, and for the commitment number 4, CSRC, NLRF and Abhiyan Nepal will work, and 7 is committed by CSRC and COLARP. Similarly, 6 by MORE and CDS, 5th by Abhiyan and COLARP.
For our Cambodian commitment, Star Cambodia choose number 4, 7, 8 and 9.
For my case, it is always a bit different from many other organizations involved with ILC, because we are a networking organization and we are the policy advocacy and we are right-based organization. So all these commitments are very much interlinked. So we cannot take one then the other. So most of these are combined. If we want to achieve secure land rights, we need to work at the policy level. to influence the policy. If we want to stop the land grabbing, then also we have to work with the policy level, and the mobilization is there, and we have to involve the people, those who are doing the small scale farming. So I cannot say only one single commitment, so there will be multiple. Like mostly we are to influence. Being networking and advocacy organization, we do a lot of research, evidence-based advocacy. So influencing the government decision and policy making, that would be the most part of our task. And mobilizing the people, that is for small-scale farming, because it is for food security, it is for dignity, it is for livelihood. That will be the most.
The next step that we want to see is that we have strong communities who are able to demand from governments. We have communities who are able to negotiate with governments. We have communities who can advocate with evidence and prove their authority over their areas and secure their territories, gain legal recognition. That is the next thing that we want to see in the coming years.
Yeah, in the new strategy, I am very much enthusiastic about that. The 10 commitments are there. Their first point is mentioning about the equal land rights for both women and men. So this is for, as Swadhina as a partner of ILC, is this is where we see hope. And then second, it speaks about gender justice, because we do a lot of work, but we never look at those in terms of gender. We never look at those in terms of gender segregated data or with gender perspective. You know, a lot of work is done. So these are the two key areas which would be vital for Swadhina in the coming days as a partner for ILC.
As ILC already came up with the next strategic framework that includes the diversity of land. So we think that the land, it has different dimension in terms of use, in terms of patterns, in terms of its fertility. Like we have indigenous land, we have hill lands, we have the plain lands, and land of the pastorals, land of the IPs. So in this strategic framework, ILC tried to capture and acknowledge the diversity. So that is the hope. No one is missed. And all together we will rise together, and there will be a collective force and collective voice which will help protect the land rights ultimately. That is my hope for the future.
My message to ILC Asia is continue to work together as a regional platform.
Wherever we work, focus at the country level and rise together as ILC Asia, one Asia team.
We are the members. We can do something, but start now.
Networking more, sharing experiences more. Let's fight for the rights of poor, rights of women, rights of herders and pastoralists, indigenous groups.
Keep on moving forward. Do not look back, because the future is there for us to take. So keep on moving on.
Let's go, ILC Asia! Land rights now!